Hey, how about you, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Live Recruiting Show. I'm your host, Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor for Auburn Live on 3. Dadgummit. Today is Wednesday, November the 27th for you. It is Tuesday evening, November 26th for us. Keep that in mind moving forward with any today's, tomorrow's, or yesterday. We are going to have a fantastic show for you today. I almost messed up right out of the gate because we are 1 week from signing day. We are 7 days from pen meets paper, ink meets tree. There are no longer our fax machines. This will be done, I guess, electronically. Hell, pen meets paper might be a thing of the past. Anyways, we'll figure it out one way or the other before next week. We're going to get to some questions from the corner today. And gonna get some how about yous out there. We got some good posts. Auburn Live on 3 right now got a special promotion going on right now. It's $1 for a week. If you haven't signed up, go check us out. It's going to be a fantastic week to get signed up for $1 or 50% off the annual subscription. We're going to do it all with Mr. Allen Head, Mr. Cole Pinkston. They're somewhere. I think Cole's back there somewhere. Hey, how about you, fellas?
How about you?
Hey, how about you, Bino?
How about you, everybody? Cole in the shadows tonight, but that just means that intel. He's creeping around. He's getting that stuff that everybody wants to find out about.
That's right.
All right, fellas. Before we get started, we got a lot of questions from the corner. Some really good questions. I paired over them briefly before the show started. Really good stuff. But before we do a rollback, y'all know I'm sporting the Q-Zip tonight. Damn it, there's that tonight again. I told you we were messed up. At least I would. And if you're not familiar with rowback, there are only 2 ways to describe rowback: best fit, best feel. For those who aren't familiar with rowback, they're completely changing the game with their incredibly comfortable activewear. Just released their new licensed game day collection, and it's awesome. Freaking awesome, dude. With novel polo designs and clean hoodie and Q-zip designs for some of your favorite school like Auburn. It's worth checking out, man. Nobody else on the market is pairing these level of custom designs with this quality of activewear. They're not doing it. They also have some shorts, big dog. Everyday shorts, the perfect pairing as well, especially if you live in Alabama. It's, fall will be here soon. Let's see. The shorts are so comfortable, having an elastic waistband, great fabric that is made to have the appearance of a nice short, but the comfort of an athletic one. Rowback has also been proudly leading the NIL charge with some folks like Caleb Downs and some other quarterbacks. Use the promo code Auburn20, that's Auburn20 on rowback.com for a generous 20% off for all new customers through the end of this week. That's spelled RHOBACK.com, 20% off all performance polos, shorts, and more with the code Auburn20. Go do it, man. Appreciate Rowback sponsoring the show. Very, very fond of their quality wear. And certainly appreciate giving me a little sample on the side. All right, fellas, here we are. We're 1 week from signing day. Auburn's got the number 5 class in the country, according to the On3 industry ranking. Still a lot to go. Still 27 commitments, and we're still seeing Auburn in it for a lot of top recruits. Yeah. 5 stars, Naeem Alford, Justus Terry, 4-star Usman Chroma. So a lot still going on, man. We're let's get a quick little 1 week from signing day, Allen Head. How you feeling?
I'm, as the coaches would say, cautiously optimistic about a lot of targets on the table right now. There's not one that I would tell you that, hey, it's a slam dunk. I think it's a completely done deal. But there's not one I would tell you like, hey, Auburn's not in it at all. So it's going to be a really interesting this week. I think Hugh Freeze kind of talked about in his press conference, guys that you already have in the boat, you're going to be fighting. You don't have that last home game. So you got to make sure that you keep the competition at bay while also being competitive, working the phones, the distractions of Thanksgiving, preparing for an Iron Bowl. So there's a lot involved there. But, I mean, every prospect you just mentioned, Jeffrey, Usman Chroma, Justus Terry, Jared Smith, Naeem Alford, Darian Smith, Auburn's in the mix for all of it. And look, one of those is obviously a present commit to Auburn, but you got to battle Ole Miss and South Carolina here. That's legitimate, right? So hay is not in the barn for everybody just yet. Elijah Melendez, another one, that's currently in your class. You're going to have to fight to keep him. So there's going to be a lot of moving pieces as we move close to signing day. And I'm here for it all. And I'm excited to see what these questions look like tonight.
Cole, you've put in some RPMs in the past couple of days. I think you logged RPM for Auburn for Usman Chroma. You logged an RPM for Darion Smith. You logged an RPM for Naeem Alford. Feeling pretty good about all three of those.
Yeah, I'd say. I'm going to quote my favorite movie, The Waterboy, and say, last game of the year, Brent, can't hold anything back now. So I put some in, you got to take some risks. Just like I say that Auburn should take more shots on the football field. Well, I'm not going to be a hypocrite.
Live it. That's right.
I'll take some more shots myself. And I just have a feeling this staff has a chance with Usman Chroma. I like the way they've handled that situation. I just hear a lot of buzz. One of my how bouches tonight's going to reflect that, because I think somebody put some good stuff on the board that I agree with, because it lined up exactly with what I heard on Usman Chroma. So, man, I should have learned my lesson with KJ Bolden. I got that. I should have. In-state guy with Georgia. I know the pressure. But, man, I really believe, as Alan would say, the proof of concept here is going to be a big deal. So, got to pick in for Usman. I got to pick in for Darion Smith. Put that one in this morning to flip from Tennessee to Auburn. I like that one a lot. I feel pretty good about that one. And then the big prize, I guess, Naeem Alford. I followed suit with Chad Simmons, Steve Wiltfong, and put one in there. So feel good about that one too. I see that one ended up in Auburn's favor. I like my picks right now. We're going to roll with it. We're going to watch them as we get close and see what happens.
I like it, Cole. The Matthew McConaughey of mods, just LIVIN, baby. I hear you.
Well, look, you're going to get made fun of by other teams' fan bases anyway. Might as well do it, right?
Yeah, I'm right.
I'm going to give them something.
Yeah, and I think your confidence is spot on, Cole. Again, whereas I'm not necessarily saying it's a done deal for those guys, an RPM is an indicator that you think that Auburn is in pole position right now to win those recruitments. And right. I think that would be – I think your RPMs are an accurate statement of where you stand today.
Absolutely.
I like all three of those, Cole. I've got a plan for some all three RPMs, And here's the thing, we know how this goes. And that's the best you can do, Alan. You can put your RPMs, you can make your predictions based on how it stands right now. And if that were the case, I think all three of us, and I know I've had Naeem on the hot board at 60% for I don't know how long.
Right.
I felt like Auburn was the team to beat. We all did. I mean, it was a collection of all of us. I can't remember what week it was, but it was, we were all hearing from independent sources. Auburn is very confident about Naeem Alford.
I think it was around Big Cat Week, wasn't it?
Has it been that long?
It started growing around that time, I think.
It was post Big Cat for me with Naeem.
I think I'm going to go back and see when exactly I moved him up to. I think I went from 45 to 60, and then I dropped back down to 55 after his Florida visit. Then I went back up to 60. But I'm going to go back and see how long I've had Auburn as my presumed leader for him.
Right.
But, and of those three, Cole, here's a good question for you, and for all three of us. Of the three RPMs that Cole put in, Darion Smith, Usman Chroma, Naeem Alford, rank them from, and Cole, I don't know if you already did this, but confidence-wise, who you got 1 through 3? Most confident, least confident.
I like this one.
Yeah, for me, Darion Smith, I feel the best about right now.
Yes.
Number 2 would be Alford. Number 3, Usman Chroma.
Exact same order for me.
Me too.
Yeah, well, independent sourcing for each of us on all of those, and
it is.
You know what I mean?
I would like to say, and I haven't looked at the question, so I would be surprised if it's not in there. Don't forget, Malik Autry put a bat signal out.
Yes, he did.
Day of us recording this on Tuesday.
Also, don't forget he put one out for Joseph Mbachu.
He did.
Well played, sir.
I don't think his bat signal is an imminent.
No, it's not.
I think I know what it means. I think we've discussed this. I'm not going to make assumptions, but we've discussed what it might mean. And if that's the case, listen, good news. Okay. It's good news for now. Put it that way.
Yeah. And listen, this came after 3 RPMs. It's not like Naeem calls Malik Autry and says, "Hey, man, I'm in."
Yeah.
Right.
You know, this was Naeem. I mean, this was Malik and Alvin the same way. You know, any of these guys don't. I would probably say they're 80 or 90% accurate.
Yeah.
But it's just not a done deal. Y'all just chill on. You know, don't think it's a done deal. Is what I'm saying.
I would say this though on those guys, they're in the know, probably even more than us. Definitely
Sure.
more than us. But they still get shocked sometimes by the
Sure.
decisions made by these guys. They think it's over, and then all of a sudden, and it's why you're so hesitant to make these picks. But look, man, we're gonna roll the dice a little bit here. We're just gonna do it.
Look, let's put the hay down where the horse can get it. Ryan Williams was telling certain recruits in Auburn's class last year that he was going to be flipping to Auburn. Why do you think DeMarcus Riddick kind of threw shade the way that he did with his quote the other day? And look, I love DeMarcus. I wish he hadn't done that, but he did what he did, right? But that's why the pettiness was there, and you see that in recruiting all the time.
It was personal. I was listening. I heard it. It was personal.
It was.
It was personal.
Look, man, if it turns out in their favor, how great is that quote going to be, right?
Oh,
it's great. That's why I said I'll let you know Sunday if that was a mistake or not.
There you go. Good call.
I was over there cringing, dude. I was cringing bad, and I was thinking Tuberville was right, man. 2 freshmen do not belong in front of the camera.
You know what? You know what though? I think Auburn fans will give them a pass, even if they do lose to Alabama, because you see what's happening here. Okay, you look at the other model, and we talked about this with Ole Miss, right? That model is totally different than Hugh Freeze's model. We're going to go to the portal. We're going to get proven playmakers, and we're going to go to the playoff. Well, they're on the bubble right now, right? They lost a game they probably shouldn't have lost to Florida, right? I mean, they beat Georgia. Georgia's going to be a playoff team, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So that big investment they made, think about this. The people that spent the money on that, how pissed are they right now, right? That's not what they were expecting. They were expecting a playoff run here. Now, you look at the Auburn model, it's not looking great as a record, but you can see something sort of building up here with the in-state hate for the teams they're supposed to hate, right? That's a little different. I mean, you hadn't seen guys make those comments in a while.
Well, here's the thing. Auburn is different. It's different than a lot of schools. Auburn people, and you hear it all the time, Auburn people want players that love Auburn. It's hard to love Auburn like people want them to love Auburn within a year. Now, you look at KLS. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for a one-year transfer to come in and fully appreciate, genuinely love this place and hate the rivals. But you look at I love the Hugh Freeze model. I wouldn't take a damn transfer to Deion Sanders, Lane Kiffin. Get the hell out of here. I want guys who want to play at Auburn, develop at Auburn. And I was talking to Damari Austin the other day, and I was like, man, you're up, and maybe he is, maybe he isn't, but either way, he was like, yes, I've stayed true. This is where I want to be. And I thought, man, that's what it's all about right there.
Agreed.
So I completely, I love that about DeMarcus Riddick. Again, the younger guys, the younger fans are loving it. And I get it, man. I get it. I want that kind of guy playing linebacker for me.
You want that?
F you, big dog.
Yes.
Coming for your ass. All right. I love it. I do. I get it. But the older, wiser folks know that you don't say that.
No.
You don't.
You give the Eugene Asante quotes, right?
Oh, man. Jalen Milroe he should be in New York. Ryan Williams is unstoppable. I don't know how we're going to contain it. I mean, it's almost PR 101.
Yeah.
Right. Well, just think of a week ago. They internally took the Mike Elko, we're concentrated on Texas quote, and used it as motivation. They did. They admitted to it after the game was over. So.
And then used it to make memes after.
Correct. Now, again, Jalen Milroe upped the pettiness today. Said he didn't know who DeMarcus Riddick was.
I thought that was hilarious.
You know what I mean? So
who the fuck is that guy?
Gary Tompkins has been pasting like Milrose stats by comparison to Peyton Thorne stats.
Ooh.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
That was absolutely maybe the most interesting thing I saw all week.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was, maybe it was, I can't remember who it was. Might have been one, but I think just maybe it was Zach said against SEC opponents, Peyton Thorne's is way head and shoulders above Milroe.
Right now,
passing statistics.
Correct. If you look at the rushing statistics or overall yard,
Milroe's got 17 touchdowns rushing, so that balances out somewhere. But that's beside the point, right? It's these guys are going, dang it, we're taking this personal.
Yeah, they are.
And when was the last time an Auburn team took it personal like this? You know what? Maybe they did, and they didn't express it. But
what DeMarcus is, he's got a little Pat Dye in him.
Yeah,
he does.
He wants to beat their ass.
Well, and it means something to these kids. Now, I looked at the breakdown of the kids from the state of Alabama on both rosters, and it is more heavily weighted in Auburn's favor now, probably for the first time in a long time, with kids from this state. It means something to them. Now, I think it means something across the state as well. I'm not pretending in any way, shape, form, or fashion that game doesn't mean something in Tuscaloosa because, they just got absolutely drubbed by Oklahoma. They want to get that taste out of their mouth. So this is going to be a big game for them too. But I think some of that pettiness is coming from the fact that, again, there's a pride thing for these kids. They came to Auburn for a reason, and it was to rebuild this program to what it can be, not what it has been. And it starts this Saturday at 2:30 on ABC. You know what I mean? That is a big moment for them. That's a big spot for them.
And they smell blood.
They do.
Smell blood in the water, man. So, all right, let's get to some questions from the corner. I can sit here and talk about this all week long. But let's see what the members want to know about. Tillman 90663. Do we actually have a legit chance of signing 5-star defensive tackle from Manchester, Georgia, Justus Terry, or is this just another KJ Bolden situation?
Look, I think this could play out exactly like KJ Bolden. And for anybody trying to say that Auburn didn't have a legit shot, look, that's not my information at all. Now,
with KJ?
Yeah, in the end, did it matter? No, he flipped it. You know what I mean? He committed to Georgia. It signed with Georgia. But 2 days out, the information was red hot that he was going to actually land with Auburn. That was where it stood 2 days out from signing day. And it was just like literally 24 hours before where my information started to change otherwise. So could Justus Terry go exactly like KJ Bolden? Yes. But I think you also had a legitimate shot with KJ Bolden as well. So, I don't know, man. I would probably still favor Georgia at this point, just being probably conservative here. But I do think Auburn is, they're in a dogfight right now for this one.
I will say this, Jay Tillman. I didn't have Justus Terry at 45% on the hot board for no reason. There's some confidence at Auburn that things could get interesting here. I don't want to get everybody's hopes up.
Right.
Well, I continue to say expect him to go to Georgia, celebrate if he doesn't. And that's the way you ought to go about it. If of the 4 guys we've talked about, Naeem offered it, I got him at 60. I'll probably have Darian Smith at 65, Usman at 50, and Justus right below him at 45. I'm giving Georgia the edge until it's not.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one interesting thing about this, and I don't know much about the town he's from, Manchester or whatever it is, but I know the school's a 1A school or a really small school in Georgia. I don't know if it's a private or public school. I'm not sure. It's a small school. I know that. Somebody even told me that covers their games and watches their games. It's just not even fair that he plays in that league. Like, it's not even fair.
No, he dominates, dude.
but he's every bit of a player. I mean, just because he's in that league, trust me, it doesn't matter. But it's interesting. You know, I wondered how he took in Auburn. These guys that come from these small schools and this small stuff like that, it's interesting how they take in Auburn. Sometimes you hear them go, that kind of feels like where I'm from, you know?
Yeah.
It's small. It's quiet. So it was something I was interested in with his OV. And then the intel coming out of his OV, like y'all said, is, again, I use this phrase that I've used several times. It's exactly the phrase I used with KJ Bolden. It's too good to be true, right? That sounds too good. Give me a second here. I got to process that.
Right. You know, all right, so he's from Manchester. You know what other former Auburn basketball player, one of Jeffrey Lee's all-time favorites, is from Manchester, Georgia, right?
Who was that?
Cavante Barber.
Cravatney.
Yeah.
Powder. No, he was. That was Isaac Coro.
Yep.
Powder Springs.
Yep. Cavante Barber from Manchester.
Huh.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
He was before your time, Cole. You might not even been born yet.
Oh, I know. I know Cravatney. He was number 32, right?
No, he was number 5.
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah, he was a stud on one of those Jeff Lebo teams. Took him
I remember
to the NIT Final Four, if I remember right.
Could have sworn he wore 32 or something like that.
I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah, look it up. All right, let's see. C-Hud. Are we looking at signing 2 high school running backs and not a portal running back this season? Yes and no. I think y'all throw your 2 cents in here too, but I think you get Usman Chroma. I think you sign Alvin Henderson. If you get Usman Chroma, I still think Auburn goes to the portal. Let me think about this, man. If you get Usman Chroma, if Auburn doesn't get Usman Chroma, absolutely they're going to the portal. No doubt about it, they're going to the portal. I've been saying that for a while. If they get Usman Chroma, will it depend on Damari Alston, Jeremiah Cobb? Now you've got 4 running backs. You really need 5.
I'm with you on that, and I think they are going to go to the portal because you just don't know what's going to happen with Sean, right? That's the other deal because you've been able to get by.
Sean Jackson.
Yeah, you've been able to get by with having Sean in the backfield, who's been put on scholarship, and in my opinion, he's absolutely worth it. He is the most fantastic 5th option insurance policy you could ever ask for. So, yes, I think they're going to the portal regardless. Maybe it's the junior college running back. Maybe that's who they offer late as opposed to the portal, but I think you're definitely going to be getting 5.
Okay.
I think if they get Usman, then 1 portal guy.
And if not, maybe 2.
Yeah,
it's just so difficult. It's just, I mean, don't you think, Cole, that it depends a lot on like what Jeremiah Cobb does? We know Damari Alston's coming back, or at least that's what he kind of told me.
It does. And look, I'll just tell you how I'm playing this. I mean, heard chatter the first time around that Cobb might not stay with the program, and not necessarily hearing that.
Oh, in my face. In my face.
Put it up, Zach. You got to put it up.
I think Okoro wore 5, right?
Just spiked, didn't he?
But
yes.
But to your credit, he did change numbers.
To what?
To number 1.
Okay.
Who the hell was number 5? Was Okoro?
Okoro was 5, but was somebody else 5 back on those teams?
Was that Frankie with the 6th finger?
Frankie 6th finger?
Yeah.
Frankie. Frankie Tolbert.
Yeah. Frankie Tolbert with the 6th finger.
5.5.
There you go. It was 5.5. You're right. From Red Level, Alabama, of all places.
You want the 6 or 12 piece?
No, I can't.
There it is.
Calling Willie's wings back in the day.
So he was 32 first, right?
Who's the white guy over here?
I have no idea.
Is it? No, I was going to say, is that Rob Chubb? But that's way too long ago.
I think he's a bencher.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Check out that BJC. I mean, not BJC. What was that? That was what was Auburn's? Coleman.
That was Beard Eves, man.
Beard Eves. Coleman is Alabama.
Yeah.
BJCC. There you go. Look at that damn hanging ceiling above them.
It's
awesome,
buddy.
I love it. I actually love that.
It sat a lot more people, didn't it?
It certainly did. But it only filled up when you played Alabama, man.
Yeah.
Boy, the times have changed with basketball. As we record this, the number 5 Auburn Tigers fixing to take on.
Came back from 16 down last night. Excuse me, Monday night.
Yep.
Let's see. All right. So running backs, yes, I wouldn't be surprised if they go to the portal regardless. I think I'm gonna leave it like that.
I feel pretty confident saying they're going to the portal for a running back, period, regardless of what happens with Chroma.
Auburn fan of 36 out of Justus, Terry, Naeem, Alford, Usman, Chroma. Which do we have the best shot of getting, and which one do we have the least shot of getting? Okay, we didn't have Justus in there earlier, so we'll rank these from most likely to least likely. Okay. I think OKT, Alford, Chroma, Terry. That's how I would list them from top to bottom.
Yes, I think that's fair.
Yep, the same for me.
Alford, Chroma. Again, I've got Alford at 60, Chroma at 50, and Terry at 45.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I'm just my gut says Terry doesn't end up at Auburn. That's just me.
No, I mean
that's the Eeyore in me, right?
Sure.
Like, I don't see that one happen.
Well, it's the realist. It's the realist in you. I mean, let's be honest here. If Auburn signs Justus Terry, it will be one of the biggest upsets of my 20+ year career.
Without question. And here's the thing. Who's the last player that Auburn got out of Georgia that Georgia really wanted? That, went toe-to-toe with? Would it have been Owen Papo?
It had to be. Papo. And the thing is, too, man, I put the pick in for Chroma.
Because they didn't push for Tank, did they?
They did late, but he was already trending Auburn big before they pushed for him.
Yeah,
that was a mistake by Dale on that one.
Yeah,
Owen. Pick for Chroma, and really and truly, I had Auburn when he chose Georgia, so I've been counting that as a loss for myself.
Funny story about Owen Papo and Kenyatta Watson, who's been on fire for Auburn lately. But Kenyatta was at Grayson. Was that where Owen was? And the first time Owen committed, Kenyatta never thought he was coming to Auburn. He was going to Tennessee. Didn't he commit? And then it was, if he flips, he's going to Georgia. And it was he had it
the whole time on that one.
He had it the whole time. All right, let's see. Nova Tiger 256. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did last week's win and atmosphere help Auburn recruiting, and why? This is a fantastic question. We said last week going into this game, this has huge possibility of having some huge implications in recruiting. Auburn needed that win. They needed it. So 1 to 10, last weekend's win and atmosphere help.
Ooh,
I would say 7. And
I might go a little higher.
I was going to go 8, but go ahead, Cole. Give me your rationale for 7.
Yeah, I was between 7 and 8. I went with 7 because my reasoning here is, look, we're talking about all these guys that Auburn's in it for, Alford, Terry, But like we said on the other show, the real prize here is keeping your 27 together that you got right now. Keeping all those guys. You have a top 5 class right now without even adding the guys we're talking about. You keep that entire group together, and you've really, really got a prize there. So I think this week really solidified some of those guys that I was worried about for Auburn's chances. TJ Dice is one of them. I feel a little bit better about him. I feel a little bit better about Jared Smith this week. I feel really good about Deuce Knight. So the only one that I'm falling down on a little bit is Elijah Melendez, but I think they really secured.
So weird.
You got one more weekend, so anything can happen there. But yeah, I feel like they helped secure some of those guys that were considering other schools.
I'm going to attack this from 2 fronts. Okay. The first is the actual recruit themselves, right? So, yes, being in an atmosphere like that, getting to witness a win, seeing Auburn when it's right, seeing that there's still fan investment in this team, and the willingness to celebrate and the wanting to just have a team that plays competent Auburn football.
Yes.
All of that was on display, right? I think it was also huge for Hugh from the donor base standpoint because you're seeing your NIL investment pay off. And it was proof of concept on the field that Auburn can still get a ranked win. And if you just donate a little bit more, this is what these kids did from this last class. You saw it on full display with Cam Coleman, DeMarcus Riddick, multiple others from that freshman class that were contributing on the field. This ensures, you just talked about Ole Miss, and hey, maybe they're pissed because now they've lost 3 games, 2 of which they had no business losing at all, specifically the Kentucky game. And you're seeing that investment kind of wasted, whereas Auburn, the proof was on the field and what you've invested into, and it can only get brighter from here. So I think it helped on a lot of different levels. And look, yes, vision and the relational aspect is a huge piece of what's kept this class together. But let's not get it twisted. NIL is a huge component of any recruitment these days, and so you've got to have it. And I think that was a big night for Hugh to make sure that he maintains those coffers being full.
I'm going to go even a step above that, Alan. I'm going to say it was a 9. I'm going to say because of how deflating it would have been had Auburn lost that game.
Yes.
And just see Deuce Knight sniffing us out because he wants to talk. To seeing the reactions of all those those recruits storming the field, being in the locker room, seeing that atmosphere, it was absolutely huge. If Auburn loses that game, how worried are we about Deuce Knight and going to the Egg Bowl Friday night?
Big.
Yeah.
Huge, man. And he told me, he said all the right things. And I told people, don't be surprised if he's there. And after that win, I don't give a shit. No. I don't think Auburn does either.
Yeah.
It was, in my opinion, very big just because of what could have been had it not. And it wasn't just like it was better than had Auburn won 28-10. It was better had Auburn won 35-3. That win was perfect for so many different reasons.
Right.
You don't storm the field and go crazy when you beat them 35-10.
No.
You storm the field when it is what it was. That was absolutely huge for those kids, those recruits, the coaches, the parents, everybody that was there. I think it was absolutely. We'll look back on that maybe a week from now, and see just how if everybody sticks. I'm with Cole on this. If everybody sticks, if the 27 that's committed today sign in a week from now, and you add a couple of more, you'll have that game to thank a little bit for that.
Oh, yeah.
That game will have played a pretty big part.
Yes.
I think the proof of concept from it too, Alan. The Peyton Thorne throws for 300, right? It's the system we've seen all year that's been producing yards, but not the points. Puts up 43.
Yes.
And think about Usman Chroma watching Jarquez Hunter rush for 130 and 3.
From your lips to God's ears, Jeffrey, that's the absolute truth, because I know, Cole knows, that was an absolute negative recruiting tactic that was utilized before the season started.
When he made his commitment to Georgia over Auburn, Jarquez was averaging about 12 totes a game, probably 60 yards a game.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was not crying. They were hollering for more carries.
Yes.
And when he committed to Georgia, we were like, I can't blame him. Shit, man, you got Jarquez Hunter back there. You're giving him 12 carries a game. I mean, shit, you can't really blame him. Hell, at that point, I was going, man, I feel bad for Cam Coleman. That dude needs to be getting 10 targets a game. He's got like 12 catches on the season.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for him. Kind of don't blame Chroma. Wouldn't blame Cam if he left.
No. And I think it's the way you've used Jarquez. I mean, by the way, tough as a pine knot, right? I mean, he's just – that's the exact same way you're going to use Usman Chroma. Right? That Ben Tate sledgehammer that you're going to absolutely utilize, still athletic enough to be able to use some on the outside zone, other plays, but just a very different back from Alvin, who's a slasher. Great vision.
Usman is perfect for this offense.
Yes, he is. What we saw on display, you plug Usman Chroma in there in a year from now, you could potentially get the same kind of production.
He can catch the ball. Hey, listen, nobody's going to act like Jarquez Hunter is great in pass pro, right?
No,
He's low average. Cole,
He wasn't. He wasn't Saturday night. He had a good night there.
Good.
Did he stone a couple guys? I didn't catch that.
He only had like maybe 2 or 3 reps in pass pro. One of them was the deep bomb to Cam Coleman, where he put it right in Nick Scorton's chest.
Good.
Peyton Thorne, tons of time to get that throw off. I mean, Peyton had more time this week. We can get into that later. But listen, again, it's the proof of concept that was such a big deal in this one, along with the win, along with the storm, the field, along with all that stuff. It all came together. Everything that's been pitched to these guys, it came together, you know?
Yeah, it was a great night all around. And we'll look back.
How about this, too? I was just curious. I pulled up Georgia's rushing stats for this season.
I don't even know who the running back is.
Nate Frazier is the running back, who is a freshman, by the way.
Freshman, yeah.
Oh, shit.
And he's the leading rusher with 537 yards.
Are you serious?
Yes.
537. Their next guy is Trevor Etienne, who's now hurt, I think. But before that, he put up 477. And then their next guy is a receiver with 106, Dylan Bell.
I think the difference for Georgia is they've got a more balanced backfield. They've got more people that they can run in the rotation. Damari has not had the year I think that some expected him to have as a complementary piece.
Yeah.
But
fumbling.
Definitely. But Jarquez has exceeded expectation and then some. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's, if he just breaks, I believe, 60 yards, he will have averaged 100 yards per game this year.
Wow. Yeah, he needs 1,200, doesn't he? And he's got 1,140 or something.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember back to the time that Mike Bobo was at Auburn. Wasn't there like a knock on him that he throws the ball too much?
Yes. I mean,
I remember how that affected recruiting. I don't remember who the backs were. I mean, was it Trevante Citizen and
Bobo's first year here was 21, right? So that was the year Tank went over 1,000.
Okay.
But
it's just interesting to me. They got one guy over 500 on the year. I mean, they're a playoff caliber team. It's not like they're not good.
I'm going to be honest. When I've watched Georgia, it's been more deficiency up front. I felt like their running backs are talented enough, but they have not. They just don't look physical up front the way they have in the past with those just maulers. And that's not me trying to take a shot at their current offensive line coach, who's a former Auburn great. But they have not looked really the same. And this is an Auburn show, but they haven't looked the same as they have in years past from the physicality standpoint up front this year.
Well, you know what the hardest position is to evaluate. I don't care what the stars say on that one.
Offensive line, hands down. Yeah.
Yep.
Mitchie B. This is a quick one. Easy one. Will the majority of our targets sign on December the 4th? Any major targets on the 5th or 6th? All of them except Justus Terry Mitchie will, as far as I know and have indicated, will sign on December the 4th. Justus Terry will wait until the 6th to announce and sign his decision. All others, as far as I know, will be a 4th. December the 4th on a Wednesday. Justus will be on a Friday.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's like, just go ahead and do it, dude.
I'm with you. What?
I'm trying to go hunting, man.
Dude, maybe ESPN, cut him a little NIL deal to do his later.
You might be right. The Kid 14. I wonder if this is like Edward's 6th moniker. Kid. Who will be this year's Malcolm Simmons? Someone who can change the game at any moment.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not thinking offense. I'm thinking defense. My mind immediately goes to Anquan Fagans.
Whew. He's so good.
He's just a turnover machine. He's a turnover machine. The dude knows how to change the game.
Every other week he's got a pick.
Yeah.
Fumble recovery, block punt, whatever it is.
If you're going to go offense, I'm going to go Alvin Henderson in this class. I have watched him this year, and I think the thing that I appreciate about Alvin more, I still question his overall top end. But the difference with Alvin this year, when I watch him on tape, he gets to his top end quick. I'm talking about within the first couple of steps, and then that initial acceleration and burst, vision gets him out in front. and you're playing catch up. So I think he's the kind of guy that can still hit the home run. I don't know that he's ever going to be a 4.4 or 4.3. I think he's probably going to level out at about a 4.5 type. But Trey Mason was a 4.5, and he could absolutely hit the home run because of the same situation.
Yep.
Trey was at 100 miles an hour by the time he got the football, man.
Mm-hmm. Love to watch him run. How about I'm going to nominate Duke Smith.
Well, yeah.
He is a game changer. He is.
Isn't he?
They finally listed his stats this week. Cole, were you there?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, it was ungodly. I mean, it was impressive. So hell, so was Eric Smith. He had like 4 catches for 90 yards.
Yeah.
The thing is that when Southside has been in a lot of tight games here in the playoffs. I mean, they're making a really deep playoff run. It's not something they typically do as a school. It was tight against Bayside, the game we went to. What do? When they need a play, they throw it up to Duke, right? That's what they say on the sideline. Throw it up to Duke.
He lose. Yeah. Christian was there. So Cole can attest to this, but the PA announcer at the Southside game, he's down on the sidelines with the mic and he's talking during the play. And every time there's an open hole, he's like, he lose.
Here's the great thing, Jeffrey. He's the athletic director.
Yeah.
And the principal, I think. And he helped me park my car.
Holding multiple hats. That's talent.
Yes.
He's an awesome dude. I love that guy. And then I saw him walking around with a microphone. I was going to say something to him. And then he goes, and that's the first down. I said, oh, wow, he's the announcer. He's standing right by me right here on the sideline. You got to love it. But they did. They went up to Duke, Derek Smith. He makes a play very similar to what you're seeing from Keandre Lambert-Smith, going up with 2 guys on him, comes down with it, gets 2 feet in. It's like, dude, it's just ridiculous. You know?
And here's why I said Duke. He's not an early enrollee, just like Malcolm.
Yes.
He's very raw, just like Malcolm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn, he's athletic. God.
He is, Jeffrey. And I know Auburn's recruiting as a receiver, and I think they've got to. I think that's what Duke wants to play. Right?
Go look at his defensive stats from this past weekend.
But I'm telling you, game changer on the defensive side of the ball. Roll him up as a nickel and see what he does.
Yep.
I mean, I think
he'll leave after 3 years.
Yes, for the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Wardam 23. Say that we flip Naeem Alford, Darian Smith, and Chroma. Does that encourage NIL donors to push even harder for Justus Terry to potentially finish with the #1 class? Let's see. Does it encourage NIL donors? Alan, you got a voice on this?
Does it encourage them? No. I mean, I think
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think they're going to attack that all the same. And I get what they're saying, right? Like if you lay the groundwork and you get all these guys, do you want that extra cherry? Are you willing to come up with that extra money that it's going to take? Because let's, again, be very realistic. For 5 stars, you're paying 5-star money, right?
Sure.
So it is not cheap, and I get where they're coming from, but I think Auburn has a very solid NIL plan. They do a really good job of the way they structure deals and how they keep things fair. They don't promise money that they can't provide, and I think that's what gets other schools in trouble. They make deals that they have no intention of honoring, or they shade it in a way where they create a contract that makes it look bigger than it really is. So I think Auburn's going to be very straightforward on this and how they handle it, but they're going to be aggressive. And I don't think they need those other guys in this class to get extra motivation to get him. I think they're going to be motivated all the same, and they know what the price of business is going. As they say, the price of a brick is the price of a brick, right? You want it, you're going to have to go pay for it.
By the way, I did some research today. This goes along with what you're saying. So if you had to guess, and I know the number, how many guys have decommitted from Auburn in this 25 cycle, what number would you give? Now, keep in mind, 2 of those guys came back.
Okay, so you're counting the ones that came back. Okay.
Counting those guys, yeah, which Antonio Coleman and Hollis Davidson, they both came back.
They both came back.
How many decommitments?
Spencer.
Tyler Lockhart.
And Tyler Lockhart. Yeah, so those are the other 2.
Dante Core.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I forgot about Dante.
Carday Smith.
Yes.
Jeez.
More than I thought.
It's 7 total.
Are you serious?
7.
Including the 2 that came back, so there's 5 that didn't?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give him 2. Hang on. Since I brought this up, let me pull it up.
Wow, I was going to say 2 myself, but yeah,
The point I was making though is
running back, offensive line.
some of those guys, like we say, kind of mutual, not just their decision. It's not like Auburn's making these deals and then dropping guys just because they made a deal. It didn't play.
Oh, okay. I got even more than that. All right, so I'm going to read these names off to you. Antonio Coleman, who flip-flop, snip, snap, snip, right? Tyler Lockhart, Hollis Davidson, who's now back in the class, Carday Smith, Kendarius Reddick, forgot about him.
Good God, blast from the past.
Kalen Edwards.
Yep.
Shit, I don't even remember him. What, he's a tight end?
No, defensive tackle, right? He was the one from Leesburg, Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. Holy cow. His coach or something.
Yes.
Was him in the facility, Jeffrey.
Yeah. Wow.
Spencer Dolan and Dante Core.
Where did you come up with that list so quickly?
The Google machine.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I used earlier today. So 7 or 8, is that 8 total?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 8 total.
So here's your question: how many of them would you want back? You got Antonio, you got Hollis.
Those are the only 2 that I want back. If I'm being honest.
Me too.
That was kind of my
Dante.
Yeah, if I could get him, Dante.
I hear you.
I think that kid can play.
That's kind of my point. See, the summer was full of these commitments, these explosion commitments that just fell through. And the reason I brought that up, now give me what you expect your number was for USC. How many guys do you think USC dropped?
Dude, there's no telling, double digits.
All right, I'm about to pull that.
And this is even crazier.
And I'd love to see the star power that's
Alabama has dropped more than USC.
What?
Do you want me to give you the number before you look it up, Alan?
I'm going to read off these names to you of guys that decommitted from SC. Justus Terry, Isaiah Gibson, Hayden Lowe, Anquan Fegans. Don't forget, he committed to them.
Holy crap.
Yep.
Hilton Stubbs.
Yeah.
Juju Lewis. Ty Jackson. Dominique Kelly. Carday Smith, who will soon commit to Colorado. Book it. Shamar Arnaud.
Forgot about him.
DeJuan Morris, who's flipping to Tennessee or has flipped. I can't remember.
Yeah, he did.
And Jet White. I have no idea who that kid even is.
Wow.
And then, okay, so that's 12, I believe, Alan.
Yep, you're right.
Alabama's had 14 decommitments.
Jeez. Half a class.
Yeah, Saban.
That was right. The coaching change.
Which is understandable, right? Like the Lincoln Riley deal is a little bit of a different situation.
It is. It is. But that just, I feel like it goes to the point you're making there with the NIL. I do believe Auburn follows through pretty well with this.
Yes.
Are they perfect? Probably not. But they follow through pretty well on the guys they really want. They're going to do it right, it seems like.
I think they do it right. And I also think there's a lot of groundwork that's put into some of the kids that they're recruiting as far as the character and what are they looking for, right?
Yeah.
I do believe that character is a huge part of the evaluation for this staff. And I'm not saying it's not for these other places, but from conversation I've had with people in the player personnel world, I think that is something that is big on Auburn's board as far as when they're going to take a commitment is how secure is this going to be?
Right.
I mean, what is their personal level of investment?
Yeah. Tank for America. Let's see. How many starting spots are truly open on next year's team? However many seniors. Let's see. Running back, quarterback.
Yeah. Yep.
Tackle. I'm going to be honest with you, fellas. I thought Jeremiah Wright the other day.
Yeah.
He looked good, didn't he?
And I think there's a chance he comes back.
Dylan Wade had a really nice game too.
I think there's a chance they both come back.
Me
but
too.
I would lean more towards Jeremiah than I would
the
last. But I think there is a chance.
And I think if you look at what the money wise, I love being able to talk about money.
Yes.
I love it. But I mean, Jeremiah Wright. Let's see. Let's take Jeremiah Wright. You can go make a team of 53 million raw. I mean, he's not going to. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think he's like a first day draft pick or second day guy or.
Correct. And all right, so
Cole, is that debatable?
No, I agree with you.
Okay.
And then let's talk about this, okay? Because NFL draft, do you know how much a first round draft pick, how much the contract is guaranteed money?
It's pretty high.
I know I watched a podcast where a guy asked Joe Burrow about the signing bonus he got for being the number one pick. And he was like, how did you get that money? He goes, I just woke up and it was in my bank account, 64 million or whatever it was.
Right. So I think it's 3 of the first 4 years are guaranteed money. Second round draft picks, the only thing that is guaranteed is your signing bonus. Third round moving forward, none of that money is guaranteed. No, take that back. Second round, 2 years is guaranteed. Third round and above, only signing bonus is guaranteed. So if you're Jeremiah Wright and your grade comes back that you're third round or later, is it not a smarter investment to come back to Auburn one more year and refine and get guaranteed money that you know you're going to get in NIL?
Yes.
And I think that's where the rev share part of this is really going to pay off, okay? Because there is such a thing as donor fatigue. I do believe Auburn's top guys are getting tapped out. And so to have that 21, 22 million, whatever it's going to be able to devote a huge portion of that towards your football team revenue. I mean, your football team NIL payout. That's going to make a difference. And you are going to be able to have real conversations with guys about, hey, this is your money that you're going to get at Auburn by comparison to non-guaranteed money in the NFL. Do you really want to risk that?
Falcons 23384. Can you share any insight on current commits that we have locked down after the A&M win? I think it'd be easier to say the ones who aren't locked down after that. And it's Jared Smith. It's Elijah Melendez.
Yeah.
Where are you putting Donovan Starr?
I feel good about Donovan Starr.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything lately. That's another one I'm going to double back on, right? Because you got some really – Georgia and Alabama are very interested in him. So that's I think you got to watch. But I feel significantly better.
Him not taking that OV to Georgia was a big deal.
Curious to see what he does this weekend.
Yes, agreed.
But other than those 2.5, Jared Smith, I mean, I consider Deuce pretty locked down.
How about Dice? Where y'all at?
I'm still going to watch Dice because I think Florida is on a hot streak on the trail, and I love what Auburn did, and Florida's not at home, so you don't have to worry about him visiting there. Okay.
Yeah.
But what happens if Florida decides he's the guy? We're going to load up a ton of NIL on him. What does that do?
Yeah, that's the –
Yeah.
Florida's, if you hadn't noticed, they're making some plays right now.
Yeah.
They got momentum.
They're destroying Florida State's class right now.
Florida State. Can you imagine being in that? I mean, we were creeping towards that. You know, I was feeling it coming. And then you see a little turnaround here, obviously. Two-game win streak, got a ranked win.
Yeah.
Florida State's won 2 games, guys.
That's unbelievable.
Mike Norvell.
A year off of an 11-win season.
Yeah,
11-0.
12-win season, excuse me.
12-0
season.
Yeah, it was. It finished 12-0 and then lost in the.
Oh yeah, that was
ass beating. They didn't go to the playoffs.
Constellation game, yeah. Let's see. CW95, Zion Ely, absolutely. Auburn is pursuing him. He was supposed to come on a visit, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago. The game went late. They couldn't make it. But the pipeline of kids coming from there, St. Francis Academy in Baltimore, absolutely a guy to keep an eye on, as is Jira Edwards. Yes. You know, Auburn already has Wayne Henry in the 2026 class committed. Of course, Blake Woodby, Bryce Diaz, maybe soon to be Darion Smith, and then other 26 guys to keep an eye on, Zion Ely, and who did I just say? Jira Edwards, who was very impressed with Auburn. And I'm telling you what, man, those guys are close-knit.
Yes, they are.
They really are. I love those guys. I love Blake Woodby. I love Bryce Diaz. I love those guys.
I don't know if you interviewed Blake afterwards. I know I talked to him.
I missed him.
He near about broke the speaker on my phone. He was yelling in the interview, and he lost his voice too. So he was yelling, and he was fired up. I mean, those guys,
They love Auburn.
Yeah,
they love it.
If they want Darian Smith there, I think they'll get Darian Smith there.
Yeah,
man,
sure.
It's been. I love those guys. They love Auburn so much. They love coming down every chance they've gotten. I mean, they've made. I think Blake's been to 3 or 4 games at least.
Yeah.
And if you don't love Bryce Diaz, for a guy to come to a camp,
Yep,
and within the hour do enough to get an offer, and within the minute commit. I love that story. I think Bryce Diaz is freaking phenomenal athlete.
I talked to his dad, Jeffrey.
Did you really?
I did. He was sitting there. They were on the OV. He was waiting while the Baltimore group was interviewing with us, and I slipped over there, talked to him, and he was telling me. He said, Bryce just called me, man, and that day he was like, I got to commit to Auburn. And I was like, he said, I was like, are you sure? I mean, Auburn? Like, he's like, yeah, I got to do it. And he did right after that, right? I mean,
yeah,
it was less than a week.
He committed. I mean, hell, I took his photo an hour after he got the offer, and he gave me the commitment story, and was like, okay, I'm just, I'm going to announce it when I get my graphic made or whatever it was. I mean, it was done.
He wanted to make sure it wasn't a visit high, but Bryce was like, no, this is the place. This is it. So he was like, yeah.
I think he's the Caleb Harris of this class. And by the way, Caleb Harris's quote the other day, I don't know who got it.
I didn't see it.
It was, they were asking him about, is he surprised that the impact he's had this year? He said, no, I thought I was a pretty good player in high school. And then they ranked me a 3-star, and I was pissed off about it.
Did he say that?
Yes.
Every time I talk to Caleb, and this is a compliment that I'm giving him.
Yeah.
He said, I know you don't have anything to do with it, but you need to talk to your boys up there. I am ranked wrong.
Yeah. I mean, he believes that he was one of the top players in this past year's class. And look, he's played like it.
Yeah. He's a freshman All-American.
Yes, absolutely. But I see similar, like, he's not as – Caleb is far more technically sound right now than Bryce Diaz, okay?
Oh, and for sure.
Partially because Bryce moves around so much. He plays running back, outside,
primarily,
inside linebacker, safety, wide receiver. There's not a spot on the field that he honestly doesn't play.
Right.
And if you're talking about a guy who's a little bit under the radar and slept on,
yes,
you put Bryce Diaz at a linebacker position and coach him up for a year and watch and see what he's going to be, because he's just got the kind of athletic traits that you can't coach. You know what I mean? You can't coach a guy to do some of the things he's able to do on a football field.
Love me some Frank Francis, man. DJ Durkin did a fantastic job up there. Let's get into some how-about-yous, fellas.
Cole, you go ahead. Get us started.
Yeah, I think I got 3.
Me too.
I believe it's 3. All right. Uncle Rico, 530. How about you to him?
How about you, Uncle Rico?
He had a post, what's your favorite memory on the board? And I thought that was just a really good post.
Sure.
I posted Balcony Watch. That was my favorite. A lot of people were in on the Fred thing. A lot of people remember that. That was fun for them. So, Jeffrey, you got a lot of play in there as well. Moments with you. So,
infamously.
Right. It was just a good thread idea. I enjoyed reading that one. So, Uncle Rico, good job there. Harvey Specter.
Good one.
That's a great one. I love Harvey.
Harvey Specter. I posted a story, and he reached out encouraging words. He gets it for that. But also, I posted a story that had quotes from Freeze and a couple things he said about the new signing periods coming up and how it's a challenge. And Harvey Specter said, It's funny how his answers only bother me when we're losing.
Isn't it funny? And you know what? Not a damn person has said anything about Tiger Walk.
Nope. Everybody's fired up.
Yeah. Put those earbuds in, big dog. We don't care.
Happens overnight. All right. So, and then my third one is WDE 1999. And if you don't know who that is, he is the one that dropped the chroma nugget the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great call.
And I'm telling you, it lines up. And here's the thing. What he says absolutely
Is there
true.
underscore in that?
It's just WDE 1999.
Gotcha.
What he said lines up with what I've heard 100%. The one thing, I would tell him, and we talked, me and him talked, we had a conversation. The pressure from Georgia is going to play a bigger part, probably.
Yes.
Yes. I understand that. But the note he put was, I think it was very much legit, and I thought it was a great job by him. So he gets one from me.
I like it, Mr. Allen.
All right. So in the Mark Sears moms thread.
Oh, no. I saw it.
Yeah. AU86KB. You think she was in the gym till 3 a.m. putting up pretend shots with Mark? Dude, it got me. Good call on that one. Turner Walker.
Okay. My Pratt
really good poster. And War Eagle GSU.
Ooh, that's a good one. Been great.
One of my faves.
Yep, he's fantastic.
And Barney Hard, just because I don't want to hear him complain this week.
Who?
Barnes Hard.
Was he complaining?
He just always wants to how about you, big dog.
Is it Barnes so hard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I know Barnes hard, and he hardly ever posts. But Barnes so hard.
Yes,
that's him.
Yeah, let's hook him up.
All right, I got. How about you to Mr. J06 for? Actually, it was a couple of weeks ago. I think it was after the incident on the plane.
Oh yes.
He said, "Make them fly Spirit." I think that was it. How about you to AU Nash 69? Doc Dumpster written a freaking novel, and I love this gift. It's that guy. He's like, didn't read.
Oh yeah.
Hey, balloons are back.
It's that way. And how about you to BP needs ATO? I met him the other day. Oh, you know what? I just remembered another one. Yes, BP needs ATO though. I ran into him at he was my DoorDasher. I was up at the complex and I ordered it and I walked outside. He came up and he said, "I thought that was you," and I just thought he meant like, "Yeah, you're the customer." I thought that was who I was supposed to deliver it to.
Yeah.
And then I got back and he wrote something like, "I hope you enjoyed that catfish." And I was like, what are you doing, big dog?
Looking around.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, man, that was me." And I was well, damn, why didn't you say something? He was like, I gave you how about you? And I thought, oh man, I didn't hear it. So how about you to you, big dog? And also, how about you to Egg Guy 85?
Yep. I met him.
I met him in the pisser. Man, we was draining radiators together. You know how close bonds are formed after that.
True.
A little double down action. I hear
you. So how about you, Mr. J06? BP needs ATO, AU Nash 69, Uncle Rico 530, Harvey Specter, Warlord Eagle 1999, AU 86KB, Turner Walker, War Eagle GSU, Barnes So Hard, and Egg Guy 85.
Yes.
Hey, fantastic show tonight. Fantastic questions. We're going to be back next week. Of course, we're going to be back for the call-in show on Sunday, and we're going to be back on next week. I think Tuesday we'll have we might do it Monday night, so it'll come out Tuesday, the day before signing day. We'll have a Auburn Live, a YouTube Plus show. We're going to go in some details, some behind the scenes stuff, kind of let you know what's kind of going on for your eyes only. If you're not a subscriber to Auburn Live on 3, now's the perfect time to do that. Also, if your website's not your thing, you can still watch the videos. Auburn Live Plus, $2.99 a month. Go check that out right now. Click the notification so you'll know when the videos are uploaded, and you won't have to ask or wait. One more time for Roback. Use the promo code Auburn20 on Roback.com for a generous 20% off for all new customers through the end of this week. That's spelled RHOBACK. It's 20% off all performance polos, shorts, and more with the code Auburn20. Appreciate Roback. All right, that's going to do it, folks. Fantastic show. We appreciate everybody listening. We appreciate everybody watching. For Alan Head, for Cole, for Zach in the back who stayed in the back, I'm Jeffrey Lee, man. Y'all stay that left lane. See ya.